time to take a breath after the day we've had. Up over 9%. My name's Ian. I'm one of the host props here. I'm with my good friend Christopher Bell, founder of the Haste Club. Chris, hot day over there, hot day on the market. What are you saying, brother?
It's kind of hard to complain about the heat when the market's that hot. It really is. I can't wait to get off this stream because I'm jumping right in the river the second we're done. Man, it's been brutal out here. We hit 105, which in crazy European terms is probably like 2,000 degrees. We're all backwards here. We don't use a metric system or whatever. But yeah, blazing day, both in just being outside and in the markets. So we actually hit all-time highs with Rocket Lab. Was it before or after the bell? And then Astra. I'm sorry. Wow, I'm really sorry. That's a bad comparison. Not Astra. That goes sideways. ASTS, yes. That broke 50, correct?
Yeah, and it's still running after hours. It's 50-52 after hours. Talking about ASTS, I did put out a post last night, and I have another guest lined up for us. It feels like we just have guest after guest after guest at this stage. But AST Space Mob, he runs the AST Space Odyssey podcast. He's free to come on, and he's going to talk to us everything ASTS. Get me, anyway, a little bit more familiar with the company. I'm not mad up on it. So, yeah, it'd be nice to have him on. And for any of the guys that maybe have overlooked AST Space Mobile, at least then you'll sort of get an assessment. Are we a little bit too frothy at the moment? Is it still an ideal time to get in if you believe in the company? For me, personally, prior to jumping in now, anything that runs up, like, let me look over the last month, 108% in a month, I'd be very, very careful jumping in right now. I think the whole market is getting very frothy. We did have an article come out, I think Francisco shared it, about the top 10 stocks with this conflict going on. And I don't really want to talk about the conflict. I feel like everyone and their cousin is speaking about it, and it'd just be a bit boring if me and Chris get into it. But four major companies that we all talk about on here featured in it. We had Rocket Lab, ASTS, Archer, and Palantir. And you can see why, in the height of a war, why them four companies are featuring on something like that. Chris, we did speak to Scott O yesterday. Absolute fantastic interview. He did explain a little bit more about Redwire Space. Did you do anything with your position? Say, are you adding? Have you sold, or are you just sitting tight?
I actually did. I just sat back today and watched. That's all I did. It was way too hot to work, and my AC is broken right now. So as you guys can imagine, it's been horrible. So I've been sitting in front of a fan inside the house, just watching, trying to be patient. I did miss. I missed that on ASTS. I admit I was wrong about a lot of things. Congrats to all you guys out there. That's been, buying that early on. Very happy for you. Anyone in the space industry that's investing in making a profit, I don't care if it's Redwire, I don't care who it is, I'm very happy for you. We want everybody to succeed when it comes to investing. But a lot of fun today, man. A lot of fun, kind of crazy. We saw a big run up early, then it just, drop right back off. If you're a day trader, man, I can imagine how exciting that would have been. That would have been a lot of fun as well. I know there's.
I swear you could have made like 10% twice or something.
Oh, there's a crazy amount of money. We follow a lot of the same guys, and I'm not going to give their names out there, put them out there, but man, in the chats, they were having a lot of fun. I was a little jealous. I didn't have the money to actually get involved. But congratulations to all those guys as well. You don't get a lot of days like this in the market, and when you have the opportunity to jump on top of something like this, make some extra money, and I don't care if it's extra $50 or an extra 5,000. Um, you see that opportunity, you got to jump on it when you can. So congrats to everyone. A lot of fun today, man. A lot of fun in the markets.
Guys, in the chat, please let me know, did anyone make any decent trade today? Look, I don't care if it's Rocket Lab. Honestly, I'm long Rocket Lab, Chris is long Rocket Lab, but look, I tip my hat off for anyone that makes money on the market. I don't really care how you do it. I tip my hat off to anyone. If you anticipated that and then got out on the pullback and then got back in, my God, you are a genius. But Johnny Mac, I have 10 minutes. Shoot me a link. Okay, brother. I will quickly fire a message cost you on X if you're free to jump on.
That
Do you know
would
what,
be
Chris?
fun.
We start need
be so much fun.
We need to
Yanni's
get a
great,
notepad
man.
with the amount of guests we're getting on.
We have another special guest that we're going to be announcing very soon. We haven't decided on a day. You mentioned his schedule this week as far as when he can and cannot come on. Man, I really want to bring this up because he's big in the community. We all know who he is. The guy definitely knows his stuff. Yeah, the amount of people piling in here has been amazing. I can't wait. Oh, by the way, Space Derivatives, all-time highs, bro. It's time to show your face. Let's do it. If you got time to come on tonight, great. If not, I understand. But it's time, buddy. You promised time to deliver. You guys are trying to hold me to this tattoo thing. Thanks to Johnny Mac. Yeah, bro, come on live, man. I got something to say to you. This will be great. This will be a lot of fun.
And you know what? Chat I want to address, yeah? I want the chat to guess who our next mystery guest is. We got Dave G for you. We got Scott O for you. I know a lot of you wouldn't have anticipated that we would be able to talk to these guys. And I can have a bet it wasn't the type of interview you guys were expecting. You expect us to bring Scott O in and just talk about numbers, but it was really nice getting to know Scott as a person, and we will have him back on again. But guys,
Yeah,
in the
definitely,
chat,
definitely, and that was awesome. Scott was having a good time. He was more relaxed. We got him laughing, giggling. I love that aspect of it. Same with Dave G. I know those guys didn't know what to expect there. But Yanni's been on with me before. He knows what to expect, and that's why he's so comfortable jumping on here now. He's probably in his car. So, Yanni, how we doing, brother? What's going
how
on?
we getting on, brother?
What's going on, guys? I got 10 minutes before I get to work, so I figured jump on and say hello. What's going on?
Any big trades today, brother?
No big trades.
I think we may have lost
And that's Yanni. He'll be back in. And before he does come back in, or if he doesn't make it back in, we should all thank Yanni for his service, what he does. We don't discuss, but yeah, he does a lot for us as Americans. So thank you, Johnny, for everything you do, my friend, all the sacrifices you make. We joke around a lot, man, but that's my boy. That's my friend. Anything he needs, he knows all he's got to do is call me up. I got his back. Hopefully you get back on. But he stepped up big time, man. He was always nervous about coming on live. And when you were sick, he jumped in and he loved it. And he's a natural. He just laid back. He knows his facts, but he doesn't take them too seriously to where it gets a little bit kind of boring, which I can do sometimes. But yeah, Jan, if you get a chance to come back in, man, there we go. There we go.
Sorry about
Awesome.
that, guys.
No
problem.
But I was saying, no trades for me today. Typically, when the market is green, I kind of just sit back and watch.
Johnny, I want to know concentration in your portfolio. How big would Rocket Lab be?
Well, I don't recommend anybody do this, but I'm pretty concentrated. So I basically
think we may have lost him again.
There we
Oh
go.
no, we haven't back yet.
This is what happens when you try to stream in your car. But I try to stay pretty concentrated in a few stocks that I have high conviction in, and, and try to go from there. But I would say since it's grown substantially, my position in RKLB is probably about 70% of my portfolio.
And that does fit in with a lot of people we get in the community here. I did find it.
But that's my boy.
Not
That's
so
my
much.
boy. I love it. That's my boy. That's my boy. 70%. That's what I'm talking about. I know it's crazy. It's not financial advice. If you're a new investor, it's not the smart thing to do. But Yanni knows his stuff, man. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Liam, but that's my boy. I love it.
No, Scott, it didn't surprise me as much because we know how much he likes to analyze different stocks. So I expected a low enough figure, but Dave G did actually surprise me a little bit with how unconcentrated or diverse his portfolio was. It did impress me, and it did make me kind of think these guys are quite smart. And am I making the wrong decision being quite concentrated? But you know what? If RKLB pull off what we believe they can pull off, we'll be laughing our way to the bank. So look,
but they're also in a lot of stocks that either are directly, space stocks, or they feed into space stocks in one direction or another. Not all of them. I'm not going to say that, but a lot of them are. Yanni, since we have you on, man, just for a few minutes, are you still in the ASTS?
Yeah, I still have my ASTS shares. I sold a lot of them. The previous run up too early, unfortunately, to go harder into RKLB. Hindsight's 2020. I wish I would have held on to them, but yeah, I still have my core amount of shares in there. They're not going anywhere.
Awesome.
ASTS is genuinely one. I wish. I know Reese used to bang on about them, and he done videos when they were down at like $3. But I never really done deep due diligence on them. My understanding now is they're not direct competition to RKLB. They're going to coexist. The only thing that's more or less similar is they're in the space industry.
We've gone back and forth, and Francisco and Yanni now for months now, back and forth between ASTS, and some days we get bullish, some days we get over bearish, and they've shown me and taught me a lot. And again, I know we only have it for a few minutes here, Yanni. So what are you thinking? I know you've got something on your mind, man. Go ahead and spill some beans, bro. It's Haste Club, you know how it is. They're here, man. It's all laid back. Tell us what you're thinking.
I don't really have much on my mind. I think we had a pretty strong run up. I think it was a lot of shorts getting nervous. I just hope that we can hold on to it now. If the market stays at these levels, I think we'll stay roughly in the area. But I like to prepare myself, kind of hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So mentally, I'm prepared for a pullback, hoping that we don't have one.
And I think that is really good. I don't want to say advice. Look, nothing here is financial advice, but that is a really good position to take. I think we all want the stock just to take off, but we always have to be prepared for a pullback. How far of a pullback would you need, Johnny, for you to start adding again?
I personally wouldn't start adding again until we hit about 26.7, around there.
And that's sort of my ideal figure, 25, 26. In my head, I don't know why. I think it's just a milestone in my own head.
Hey, Yanni.
Great.
I know personally that you made enough money today that you are paying for that tattoo if I get one. So it's on you. You're making this happen. If it happens, which is probably not, but if so, you're paying for it. I'll draw it. You pay for it. That's funny. That's really funny.
It's gonna be a nice tattoo. It's gonna be right across the forearm, left or right arm, depending which was dominant arm. We'll just go from there.
This guy, man. This guy. I love me some Yanni Mac, man. That's my boy. That's my boy. I love it.
No, what I want to do, I want to jump straight to the comments. We're starting to build up here with GY Kiwi. Hi all, big trade day. Woohoo. GY Kiwi, did you make any big trades today, or were you just sitting back? Tom Lott, I have remembered you did ask a question yesterday. Did I ask about the transport question? And if I remember, what have you said here? Did you ask how to get rocket to the pad? You said you want to ask someone today. Yeah. So what have you two guys done? Tom Latta came into one of my eVTOL streams yesterday, and I directed them to Rocket Lab Daily because he believes inside Reddit there was a post going around saying that a bridge was under construction. Was it, Tom Latta? By Wallops, and they're closing down the river so they won't be able to get Neutron to the pad. I never heard about that, but Chris, Johnny, have you any thoughts on that?
I actually didn't hear you. My audio went out. So if you could repeat that question one more time.
Yeah, you're all right. So Tom Latta has said there was a chat going around a Reddit forum. Now, guys, you know my stance on Reddit. I don't believe anything that is anonymous is great. But there was a chat going around Reddit saying there's a bridge under construction around Wallops across the river. And that way they're closing the river so Neutron can't get to the pad. I hadn't heard that before, but have you guys heard anything of the likes?
Yeah, I actually know about this. Go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I haven't heard anything about that, but I do remember Chris bringing that up in the past. So, what's wrong with it?
Yeah, so back in January, Rocket Lab filed for permission to ship barges from the Maryland complex down to Wallops Island. And then there were obviously, when you do stuff like that, they're going to do, they're going to check into things and make sure that you can actually do what you say you're going to do and look for any kind of obstacles. And just recently, they have decided they need to dredge certain parts of certain causeways, rivers, to allow the barges to make it through. On top of that, Virginia is actually investing a lot of money in building a brand new bridge over to Wallops that's going to help service Rocket Lab as well. That's directly due to the fact of the money that Rocket Lab is bringing in as far as revenue into Virginia. So Virginia is reinvesting back in Rocket Lab. So they do plan on 3D printing. The big 3D printer is in the Maryland complex in Middle Rivers in Maryland. They do plan on, printing, 3D printing Neutron parts, shipping them down via barge to Wallops, assembling them all there on Wallops, and then launching. So, no, it makes sense what he's saying. We're expecting a few little hiccups and delays here and there, but for the most part, Wallops is, man, we're so close on this thing. It's not even funny. I mean, we're very close on Wallops.
So you don't think there'll be any delays to Neutron on this?
Not due to Wallops, no. Not due to Wallops. If anything, Wallops is, in my mind, they've added on and they've expanded more than what they expected to be able to accomplish at this point. And that's only because of the fact that I work outside every day, and you base it on weather and construction. You can't work in the rain, you can't work in horrible conditions, but we've had a very mild winter the last year or two. We've had a lot more working days than we've had not. And even though it's Mars and it's the U.S. government and they move a little slow, they have been ahead on these things. And that's a lot to do with the fact that the U.S. government, as far as Space Force and DOD, is behind a lot of this. They're going to be kind of, putting a fire up their butt and making sure these things are done at a reasonable time. So you're not waiting on them, and that's not going to be a cause for delaying on launch. I don't see that at all. No.
And then Tom Latters came back, but the bridge is not even started to build. Started 2026. Same as for the digging for the channel, which is needed to be transported on the barge. I don't have any of the information in front of me, so I can't even comment on it, Tom. But I hope what Chris has said has cleared up a little bit of the confusion. Olga, Johnny, nice to see you. Olga, we're going to get you on 100% we're going to get you on. And I mean what we said last night, even if it's for a private chat between even the three of us here, me, Chris, and Johnny, and we jump into a private chat. Never worry.
Olga's too busy chilling by the pool right now with like a cocktail, just sitting back. Dude, she's way smarter than all we are. We're here trying to talk to each other, and she just listens. She's just sitting back, chilling, relaxing, having a good time, laughing at us. She's the smart one, not us. She's the smart one. As always, thank you so much, Olga.
And then Kurt Nevin, Go Rock Lab, investor from Belgium. Belgium, are you in the same time zone as me, or are you an hour ahead? I'm sitting about 10 past 11 here. But Kurt, great to see you. Then we have Jackie's Rocket Lab 4,208 at 517, Archer 1,037 at 417, ASTS 250 at 2769. I outdo the suits in my boots. Jackie's solid position. Is that your entire portfolio? Are you incredibly concentrated? I am getting quite obsessed with finding out how concentrated the community is in the likes of these stocks, because we can see the passions there. And I do wonder sometimes, is it when, I think it's as Scott O alluded to yesterday about the give a shit position. And I feel like with that 80, 90, 100% consolidation, or not consolidation, concentration, I think that's what causes a bit of that heat. Do you ever see some of that heat between people on X, Chris, where they're arguing about which stock is better? And I think it's just they treat it like it's their babies.
I don't have to worry about that, man. I just message Francisco. That's all I gotta do. Hey, Franny, what do you think about this? He's like, yeah, shut up, go back to bed. You're missing out, or you're too early, or you're too late. That's the best thing about this community. And for all you, especially you guys coming in from the eVTOL side, and if you're new, and we had these guys on as often as possible. Francisco, Space Ghost, man, Space Ghost was amazing. We got Johnny Mac. Everybody has their own insight, their own information, but it's fun because it's not just one of us doing it all. It's impossible to cover it all. The space is freaking huge, man. There's a lot of companies out there. Great questions. I love the questions. Keep them coming. And if we can't answer a question, I'm gonna go, yeah, I don't know. I'm an idiot, But we can find someone that can probably, answer that question for you, either in the comments or we just bring them on live. It's an open forum, wide open forum. Just like Johnny joined us just now. He's trying to drive and talk at the same time. Shame, Johnny. Shouldn't be doing that, buddy. No, I'm just kidding, man. But it's also laid back. We just have fun.
And then we have Jackie's. Why don't they launch from Quito? Look, Chris, you're going to have to pronounce this for me. Equatorial bump and high altitude means less fuel and more payload. Chris,
he's right. He's right. And Johnny, go ahead, man, because we talked about this before. But yeah, go ahead, buddy.
I think Rocket Lab kind of launches where they do based upon strategy, where that obviously makes sense. But Rocket Lab looks at it in a way, what's going to lead to more contracts for them. And this is not from any interview I saw or any article that I saw. This is more of me speculating. But if you really put the breadcrumbs together, I mean, what would make more sense for Rocket Lab? To have a launch site at a NASA-owned facility on Wallops Island, where they're trying to get government contracts on U.S. soil, or at the equator, where it may be a little bit of a less strategic advantage to save some fuel. If it was me and I'm going after massive United States government contracts, I would want a launch site at Wallops Island, Virginia. And the same goes with New Zealand. New Zealand is their own private launch site. Nobody else can launch from there. it just makes sense strategically to launch from there. Maybe in the future, if they add more launch sites, but you're talking more infrastructure, more money, it just doesn't make sense right now to add another launch site there if they already got it taken care of with the sites that they have.
Well, and here's a little piece of a tidbit that me and Francisco and Johnny, and I'll just go ahead and put that out there now that we've been working on. So Space Force has a launch facility in Cape Canaveral. They've launched ULA, they've launched Space X. The majority of the infrastructure, just like Johnny just said, infrastructure is important. The majority was there. Now, Electron does launch on its own kind of platform. It does need some infrastructure for that, but there's already most of what we need in place. If there was some sort of ramp up where the U.S. government said, "Here's a bunch of money, and we want to start manned missions in the next 5 or 10 years," that would probably be one of the prime locations, just because of the already established relationship we have with Space Force and NASA. But what Johnny was saying, especially for what Rocket Lab is expecting over the next 5 or 10 years, mostly small stats, some medium launch stuff. There's no reason in the world why Wallops can't be just as good as any other launch site. And that's another reason why we're seeing. I mean, you can look at Alaska, you can look at Taiwan, you can look at Australia. They all have their advantages and disadvantages, but does not exclude any of them from having the ability to launch stuff into space. I get it. Yeah, it's a little bit less fuel. And there is, sometimes a greater chance of success, but Rocket Lab is, man, they prove themselves over and over and over in some of the worst kind of case scenarios. So not a concern of mine personally, but great question.
And then GY Kiwi says, once Neutron is launched, New Zealand will have Neutron launchers. Do you agree with that? They'll have to build the infrastructure, won't they?
They'd have to build the infrastructure with that. New Zealand doesn't have the fuel capability to launch a Neutron.
Yeah, he's right. There's natural resources is going to be an issue. As fun as that might sound, I would expect something more like a West Coast or a Texas or Cape Canaveral. If you're thinking about a second site possibility, I would assume realistically it'd be somewhere in the U.S. They already have, places. Colorado, they've got places in California. So I would expect something out of the U.S. before I would expect New Zealand. They can do Electron, they can do Haste. And I do expect Haste to actually be launching out of New Zealand within the coming year. And not for Rocket Lab. I think it's actually going to be for the New Zealand government.
Okay, yeah.
But we can debate that back and forth, and Johnny knows me very well. I say crazy stuff, but I got some receipts on that one. But as far as Neutron, like Johnny said, the resources, just the natural resources aren't there. They had to probably ship them in from maybe Johnny, probably Australia or something like that, just to be able to launch. Just doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Chris, I hate to burn you guys, but actually I gotta get going. But thanks for having me on for the time. I know it was short, but I appreciate it.
Johnny, you're welcome anytime,
bro. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Travel safe.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Have a nice day, brother.
You too, bro. Bye.
And then, Chris, one thing I want to ask you: what time are you working tomorrow, brother?
From the crack of dawn until the sun melts my brain. So from like maybe 5 until about noon, 1 o'clock. It's so hot, man. Tomorrow's gonna be a record day. Yeah. So
do you want an appointment at 3 a.m?
Holy crap, that's right. We've got a launch tonight, don't we?
We've got a launch, brother. I'll be streaming it from 8. Now, look, if you can't make it, I can do a solo stream.
No, you know what, man? Screw it. Let's do it. I'm getting a lot of heat because everybody's like, I never see your face. Everyone that asks that's going to go, all right, now I'm happy I don't see your face. Let's put it back on the river. But that time in the morning, I can't go live outside. It's just pure dark. Yeah, I think that's about a 3 in the morning, roughly kind of
Yeah,
time for me. Man, you're
it's
killing me, bro. You're
7
killing me. But yeah,
UTC.
let's
Yeah,
do it, man. Let's do it. Let's stream a Electron launch. Let's have some fun. Um, I'll be drunk from a lack of sleep all day tomorrow. But hey, it's hot. I won't feel a difference. It won't make a difference. I mean, once your brain melts, you're done for the day. So it's not gonna make that big of a difference. Let's
and
do it.
guys, who is gonna meet us on the live stream? Are you gonna be up watching it with us? Let me know what time of day it will be. Wherever you're living. For me, it'll be 8 o'clock in the morning, New Zealand, 7 at night. Chris, 3 o'clock in the morning. June, nice to have you here again, June. June, we have a very special guest coming on this week. I think you know him quite well. Any guesses? Then what I want to get into is, Chris, did you see what Tran put up this week about that launch? He
Yeah, I
believes
don't
he's
miss
cracked the code.
it, bro. I don't miss anything from Trend. That guy's brilliant. If you guys aren't following Trend, most of the people in here right now are most likely you guys are following him. But for the few of you that are not, um, the guy's just brilliant, man, and he's fun. He's a lot of fun. I don't think he takes himself too seriously, but he's really good at research. Really good at research. Yeah, I did see all that. Uh, Um, there's always like 5 to 7 people that the first ones that come up on my timeline every morning. And it does vary from day to day depending on what's going on with the news, but he's definitely way up there on the top, like Space Ghost and Dave, um, which is great because it's like a cheat code. If you want a cheat code to space stocks, man, just follow a trend. It's that easy.
So, any of you guys that haven't seen the post from Tran, it believes me has cracked the code for the mystery electron launchers. So we know it's called Symphony in the Stars, yeah? And we can see this type of satellite here on the logo. If we go across, that is very, very similar to these Lyra satellites, yeah? The EchoStar Lyra satellite. Now, we're going to get a bit further into it. Lyra is what type of word is that? People have to catch me out. Feminine given name of a Greek and Latin origin meaning lyre. It is usually given in reference to the constellation and the Greek myth that inspired its naming. The name has associations with music and harmony and the night sky. If we go back to the logo, guys, it's called Symphony in the Stars. Tran, absolute genius. I want to know how you deep dive these things because you seem to be bang on. I'm not saying he is completely right here. Could be wrong, but it just seems too, I don't know, similar. We see the music, we see the Symphony in the Stars. Chris, do you think it is EchoStar?
Well, I'm smart enough to say that I'm not going to deny the fact that it could be EchoStar. We've all been looking for this for days and days. And again, we've got some amazing people in the chats that do awesome research, and we've come up with some crazy ideas. And the fun part about it is the fact. Here's the cool thing: is that they announced this launch. We had no idea who it was going to be, so a lot of us just started deep diving into who could it possibly be. And through that, we found other companies that are very interesting, like an Astroforge. Just one example. And Tran can be 100% right, and he is often, but it's fun to have this kind of community because you don't have to be right 100% of the time. That's kind of boring. I mean, it really is. At least my kids tell me that. My kids tell me that. But at the same time, it does open up our views and our perspective and look at other possibilities outside of just, one narrow kind of mind frame. So yeah, I looked at probably 4 or 5 other companies and never thought about this one. So yeah, hats off to Trent. I hope he's right. That'd be really cool. A lot of fun.
So June says she'll be up with us and thinks it's midnight on the West Coast. Matty. Curtis will be good. June.
June's fun. June's always fun. You know what? It'd be funny if June was actually a special guest. That'd be hilarious.
Guys, has anyone else any guesses on who it could be? June says Matty, and she also says Curtis would be good. We've had Chris. Let's try and name them out, yeah? So we had Jacob, we had Francisco, we've had Johnny Mac, we've had Space Driver or Space Ghost. Oh, I don't want to forget anyone now because I'm proper calling people out. We've had Dave and Scott. You've had Olga. Who else have we spoke to on this?
Man, like almost everybody, because when you were sick and we went to Spaces Live on X, everybody took over and jumped in. Like I told you how like I was at my daughter's soccer game and I couldn't pay attention, so they all talked numbers just in spite of me, which is funny. I'm not gonna let it happen again, guys. Damn it! But we've had amazing guests. I can't. Space Ghost has got to get back on here. I've got so many questions.
Yes.
Space Derivatives, by the way. Hey, bro, we hit all-time highs, so it's time to see your face. It's time to do it. You don't have to do it here live with us, but if you wish, we are kind of packed this week. We really are, and it's been fun because we're not looking at, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're in the space community, it can be ASTS, it can be Redwire, we want to hear from all of you guys because we watch all of you guys, we follow all of you guys, and it's fun to get to know you on a personal level. Like yesterday with Scott O, man, that was so much fun. With Dave, I mean, we just had him laughing, just relax, kick back, and that's what we want here. Yeah, we're serious. I mean, we're all investors. We want to make money, but sometimes it's fun to kind of get inside someone's head individually. We are going to get June on here. I know she's like, nope, never going to happen. But we did get Olga on, and she said the same thing. So you never know. But yeah, that new guest coming up this week is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So June, if we get Matty and we get Curtis, will you come on in the same week? If we get Matty and Curtis in the same week, will you come on? That's an interesting one. We also have the AST Space Odyssey podcast lined up to come on to talk about everything ASTS. Now, look, we could run that as a separate live stream if we have to. I know some of you guys might not be as interested in ASTS, but for any of you guys that want to learn a bit more about, or some of you might be invested in it too, we are getting them on. To be fair, I believe that would be really beneficial for even if you're not invested in ASTS.
No, when you told me that today, I was psyched. The guest on coming up for next Sunday, I'm not going to give it out just yet. We all know him. Very big on the numbers. Very big, great on the numbers. Liam, you're going to love it. I'm probably going to fall asleep during the live stream. No offense to him, but the guy's a genius. I'm trying really hard. Brett, if you're out there listening, Brett and Jacob, they do a Spaces Weekly on Wednesdays, and we'll be live on Wednesday. And a lot of it is just to promote those guys. That's what it's for. Jacob is actually busy Wednesday, but there's a good chance we're going to get him on this week. So yeah, big week as far as, special guests coming on. But at the same time, this is an open forum. You guys don't have to be asked to come on. If you feel like you want to just jump into the chats, if you want to come live, message Liam, just like we did with Johnny earlier. We'll bring you right in. Treat it like it's a Spaces, just, hey, I want to get on, talk for 2 or 3 minutes and get off, or talk for 20 minutes. If you got something to bring into us, bring it. Let's just have fun with it.
And guys, like I said, I don't care about what your share count is, whether it's 1 share, 1 million shares. I don't care what your following is. If you've no followers, whether you have 100,000 followers, I value everyone's opinion the exact same. We're all people. June says, lol, you guys are very convincing. However, those guests was much more tough than me. I don't agree with it, June. I genuinely believe we all have something different to offer. Have a little bit of confidence in yourself and your ability with... Look, I genuinely, hand on heart, believe that we all have something to offer in this community, whether you've been investing for a day, whether you've been investing for 10 years. Look, the likes of Scott O came on yesterday and said he's been invested for a decade, which is absolutely unbelievable. But he did give us a story on what started him with investing, and it was because he was broke and he was looking for a way out. And I think we can all resonate pretty well with that. I'd say very few of us started investing just for the fun of it. I think the initial switch that clicks is we all want to gain wealth. As we start enjoying it, then we start getting into these spaces, and now it starts being a bit of, look, this is my hobby, to be fair. I'm here every single day with Chris. Me and Chris, we're probably like two saddos. We come live every day. We see no one else between this hour. It's just me and him chatting back and forth. But you know, I just enjoy it, and that's why I don't care whether you have no followers, 100,000 followers. I just like speaking to different people. What's your view on that, Chris?
Well, going back to what kind of what June said. So, as you guys know, I've got kids, and my kids love me. I mean, I love my kids, and we get along great. And I've got 2 daughters, and if I told them tomorrow that I just sold a best-selling book and I'm going to make $1 million, they would just shrug their shoulders. And, you know, they wouldn't be impressed. That's teenagers. That's your kids. Now, one of my daughters just turned 18, and so I've got her starting into the investing world, as we all should. So I'm not sending her videos that Liam and I are doing. I'm sending her Stock Track Girl videos, because there's a woman, there's a face behind there. She's going to listen to her before she listens to me. Doesn't mean she doesn't believe me. Doesn't mean she doesn't trust in Dad, but there's a reality behind that, and that female perspective, just that comfort zone, means a lot, and it makes a difference because she pays more attention to Stock Track Girl than she does to me. I can say the same thing. I can say it a month before, and she'll go, yeah, whatever. Stock Track Girl says it. She's like, oh, yep, she knows what she's talking about. I'm not going to argue with it. I see that there's a correlation and there's a need for it out there, because, like we've said before, there's not enough women out there, and I've got daughters, and I want them to see that and be introduced the right way into investing and feel confident and comfortable, doing that. But they're not going to listen to us. We're a bunch of stupid guys. I mean, we're a bunch of dumb apes. We're dragging our knuckles. We're idiots. Sometimes it helps having that different perspective, especially if you are female. And I don't mean to be, negative or nothing negative like that. I don't mean like that. I got daughters. I mean, but I hear from them. I understand where they're coming from. So I think someone like a June or an Olga would be a great asset to this community. And please do feel free, man. Come on. I promise you, my girls will listen.
I've said it before. We need more female creators in the space. It's too male saturated, and I really want a balance across the industry. Look, it won't happen overnight, but as more and more female creators get out there, we'll start shifting that balance. And guys, please do help us out. We want to be the first, I want to say, Rocket Lab female only podcast going on. Imagine having like the 4 girls, June, Julie, Olga, and Stock Track Girl, on a podcast. I think that'd be amazing. Like, I think it would pull in a lot more female eyes too, because look, sometimes if there's no one you can look up to and inspire you, why don't you be that someone that others can look up and be inspired by? But I want to get back to what June is saying. I don't know if you guys saw, but Trump just announced a ceasefire between Israel and Iran starting 6 hours, hoping this actually happens. And that could be big, because if that actually happens and they both agree to it, I believe the stock market will keep pushing forward. However, the pump in ASTS, RKLB and all that may pull back a little bit, because I don't know, is it war driven? I don't really want to get onto war at the moment, to be fair. Get Olga on. Olga, come on, please. Watching Trump's announcement after market, X comments on RKLB and this broadcast. GY Kiwi, loved have you. Are you coming to the launch? It's in the morning for me, but it's probably in the evening for you, mate. Didn't see June's comment. Disregard. Genuinely, Johnny, what do you think if we get all the girls together and then we could have, like, it's not even about being male, female, whatever, but I just want a mix of opinions coming in on these chats, and there's nothing better than everyone feeling comfortable coming on. Look, I'm comfortable enough to come on with my strong Irish accent. Chris is comfortable enough to come on a boat. So genuinely, guys, everything is free to go here. The Hustle Sisters, love it, brother. Are we gonna get our first Hustle Sister on?
I love that. I love that.
The first girl to come on will be the first one to have Hustle Sisters beside their name. 7 p.m. here in New Zealand. We'll tune in. It'd be great to have you, brother. Call in if you want. You'll see a very quiet Chris, and you'll see me bright and early in the morning. So, Chris,
I'm gonna curse all of you out. It's 3 in the morning. I'm gonna be so mad, but I'm gonna be up, setting my alarm as soon as we get done with this stream, and I get out of the river because it is balls hot out here, and I cannot wait to jump in. Not that I'm ready to jump off here. Thanks everyone for joining in. I'm still interested if anyone has, any more ideas on who the special guest is going to be this week. That's fun. That's fun. Not going to say who's right or who's wrong yet. It'd be fun to give something away to the first person that was right, maybe like a free membership or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we can do something like that. But man, we're here to have fun. That's what it's about. Not take it so serious. Laid back. Ask Scotto, ask Dave. Man, they had a blast. It's more laid back. You don't have to bring receipts. I don't have any receipts. I don't worry about receipts. I get my receipts from all you guys. So it makes it easy. So thanks. Thanks again.
That is very interesting what you said there, and I think I can get that done. Guys, anyone that jumps into the chat now is in with a chance to win a free membership. I'm giving 5 free memberships away. Jump into the chat and let us know, who do you think the special guest we are bringing on this week is. I can't control who it goes to. It goes out randomly, but it does go to someone that has been active in the chat. Let me actually get this set up, because I am not used to doing this without setting it up prior. What I'm going to have to do, Chris, I'm going to have to mute myself, because I'm going to have to go into the video to do it.
Yeah, I have a habit of doing this to you often, and I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to change. But yeah, do what you got to do, and I like to fool while you're gone. So he's almost gone. Yeah, so we went live, or we got together. Obviously, before you go live, you're going to spend about 5 or 10 minutes kind of talking about your day and having an idea of what direction you want to go. And here we don't script anything out, as you can tell. We just go with it. And Liam hit me up and he said, "You're not going to believe, who the next guest is going to be. I've got 2 or 3 people up." And I was like, "Well, I've already kind of scheduled a few guys in, so we got to get together and talk about it." And I got to admit, I was a little surprised. So we had no idea. We was not going to discuss this at all. I'll take all the fault. I'll take all the blame. I did it. It's my fault. I threw Liam a curveball, and looks like he's about to hit it out of the park. So yeah, some free subscription. Yeah, join in the chats, man. Let's just have some fun with it. It can be anybody, and believe me, I'm surprised every week the kind of guests we get on here, and the feelers we're putting out, and the responses we're getting from more and more people that's willing to come on is blowing my mind. And I can't wait. I can't say a lot of what's going to happen in the next 30 to 60 days, but at least over the next week, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Guys, genuinely.
Fun with it and see what happens.
Yeah, so me and Chris, look, during the day, we'll be talking to different creators, and next thing, we'll message each other like, "Oh, look, I've got a special guest. Oh, I've got a special guest." And it's getting to that stage where, like, these guests are getting more and more wild. You can see how aggressive we're pushing this project. We went Dave, Scott, Jacob, Space River, Space Ghost, getting Brett on. Like, plus we still let absolutely anyone call in. Okay, so who have we got jumping in? So we have Olga, Lal, Matten. Would be incredible if you got Brett, Addock, or Jason Goldstein. This I know, Mr. Stock Market. Actually, stocks, meetups. There's some pretty good guesses there. Some pretty solid guesses. Anyone else want to jump in for a free membership? Can't control who it goes to, but trust me, there's not a massive amount of you that have commented. So anyone that's commented is pretty likely to get it.
Olga's not wrong, but she's not quite right. She's not wrong, but she's not quite right. Yes, he will be on next Sunday, Olga. I've been talking to him for the past 4 or 5 days. Looking forward to it. Not that he's not a special guest. Very much looking forward to it. But you're not wrong. Not exactly right. So keep on guessing, sister. Just keep on guessing. Thanks for the comments as always. This is a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this, especially when that person does come on, he or she. When they do come on, that's gonna be interesting.
Right. I think I'm just gonna fire out these 5 memberships and we can start talking about it. So 5 memberships going straight out now. Midwest Cannabis got one. Olga, congratulations. Fool's goals in here and all. But I'll show you exactly who we're bringing on.
Before you do it, before you do that, Fool's Gold. Fool's Gold. 1, congratulations. You should be here anyway. 2, we are holding you to what you said earlier in the chats. So Fool's Gold has committed to the fact that he is paying for the open bar during the Neutron party we're going to have on Wallops. So everyone think Fool's Gold. He's probably going to live at my house like 2 months whether I want him here or not. So maybe I shouldn't be so happy. But Yeah, the Neutron launch party, we're working on that. If you guys have ideas, we're going to change it from the actual launch to where we're actually just going to have an investors day. It's a lot easier for Beck and the team. He's admitted to that possibility. We get more access to the facilities, not so much stress. Everybody's not trying to fly from 20 plus hours away and hope to catch a launch. Still have all the amenities. We still have all the catering set up. But yeah, thanks, fools. I am holding you to that, man. I'm not going to back out. You are definitely paying for at least day one. If we go for 2 or 3 days, I'm not going to hold you to that. That's kind of rude. But yeah, Fool's Gold is paying for all the drinks. Everyone jump in. We're gonna have a lot of fun in the launch party.
Okay, guys. So number one, Curtis would be good, and Curtis will be great. Curtis is coming on. We need to schedule a date for Curtis, but this isn't the guest we are speaking about. The guest we're speaking about is the man himself, Matt Money. Can't wait to speak to Matt Money. We do have a lot of fun back and forth on X. He does follow streams most of the days now. He's a big inspiration to why me and Reese started the channel. I know the mad respect Chris has for Matt. Chris, any thoughts? Excited to speak to Matt?
I can't wait. If it happens, it happens. We will see how this week turns out, fellas. Let's just go ahead and do it, man. Let's tell them what's going to happen. Again, you have the dates that are available and unavailable. I've sent you what Jacob's schedule is going to be, and we know Sunday's already booked. We are going to try. I can't remember who said it earlier, but Brett. We're going to try and get. I'm talking to Brett. We're going to try and get him on Wednesday for about. That guy's busy, man. Brett is very busy. Don't want to take too much time from him, so we might have him on for about 15, 20 minutes on Wednesday if we can. No promises there. But yeah, take it away. Let's plan the day and let's let them know who it is.
Then, what's quite interesting then is it's like we're completing the Infinity Stones, Chris. This project, we're only on day 4, and we've Dave, Scott, we're getting Matt. We just need Vince now, and we've completed that. But we need Stock Trek Girl. I was in communication with Stock Trek Girl. I haven't been able to reach her since. Guys, please reach out to Stock Trek Girl and say that we would love to have her on. And to be fair, I would love Stock Trek Girl to lead certain aspects of this Haste Club project. We've said it before. We need more female creators in the community. And wouldn't it be great having someone like Stock Trek Girl that could mentor you?
Agreed. Agreed. Very much agreed. But wait a minute. Let me backtrack for a second. Did you just actually say that Matt Money's going to be on live with us this week? Did that just happen?
Matt Money is going to be on live with us this week.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, people. Matty himself. We're going to have a ton of questions, and we're not going to ask him any of them. We're just going to have fun, drink a few beers, and see if we can get this guy to laugh and just relax. He's always forced with a bunch of questions. Everyone wants to know, Matty, what are you thinking about this? Matty, what do you think about that? And I might ask him about freaking ice cream. I mean, Francisco loves ice cream. It's more laid back here. We want to have more fun, get to know the people that we follow every day in a different way that's not just about the numbers, and get to know them on a different level so that there's more of a, and it's not stock advice, but more of a trust level. If you know someone on a different level, more of a friendship kind of a level, you're going to tend to, listen to more of what they're saying, even if you don't agree. Like we said yesterday with Scott O. When he first came in, I didn't like a lot of what he was saying, but I stepped back and looked at what he was saying, looked at his numbers, and Scott and I are becoming really good friends over X. Mostly because we disagreed in the beginning, and he taught me that I was wrong, and it's okay to be wrong. But the thing is, you have to be able to see where you're wrong at, admit that you're wrong, and make those adjustments. So yeah, having Matty on, man, looking forward to it. Can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I can't wait to dive in. I want to see what makes Matt tick. We all know him for being the personality that he is, but I want to jump back like I did with Dave, like I did with Scott. What got him started? What got him interested in Rocket Lab? See some of his mad ideas. You're going to get a mad question from both Chris and myself. He's open to ask us questions. Do you know what? I just love the format. But Midwest is working in the background, taking care of his son. Give Matty credit for me first getting interested in Rocket Lab. If it wasn't for Matt, I wouldn't have caught Rocket Lab on the $5. And you know what? I believe he does appreciate you massively. You're a moderator on his channel, isn't that right, June? You can be a moderator on this channel if you want to. Matten, you're getting an interview with Brett Adcock. Are you getting an interview with Brett, Chris?
Actually, the other Brett Krieger. But we can work on Brett Adcock too. I mean, I know who he is. Haven't spoken to him very much, but no. What I want to get next, hopefully, as far as Brett, is Brett Krieger. Gonna be kind of tough. He's busy, but when he does have time, the guy drops gold, man. The guy's just golden with what he talks about. He's brilliant. Brilliant.
I did reach out to one guest today. This is an absolute moonshot. I'm not going to disclose who it is. However, if we can pull this one off, it is insane. It's not particularly Rocket Lab folk. It is. He does touch on Rocket Lab. Have reached out, waiting for a reply, but I believe can get it over the line, and it will be absolutely insane. It will by far be a bigger show here. B-Tech, no cap stop. June, yes, Matty and I are friends, but he likes to tease me. I think that's Matty through and through. I think he likes to tease us all. We do have back and forwards on X, having a bit of a laugh with each other. Look, it's all in. Good jest. We enjoy his content. Hopefully, I was going to say tomorrow. Hopefully this week we're going to get closer to Matt. And Matt and I have met in real life. Have you, June? Where are you from again, June? Guys, make sure to follow us for the launch tomorrow, which you're going to get a live reaction of the launch. We're going to speak everything Rocket Lab during it. I believe we're one of the only streams that follow it the whole way through. It's not just the first stage of the launch, and as soon as we get it up and over, it's...
Holy shit, I forgot about that.
What?
Holy shit. We cover the whole thing, so I can't like sneak off and just go back to bed. Man, you guys suck, man. You guys suck. I'm old, man. I'm gonna be in pain. I'm gonna wake up like I got arthritis in my neck or something at 3 a.m. But we're gonna do it, and I'm gonna bitch a whole lot about it. So just get prepared for that. Just mute me. Just mute me the most of the time that we're on, because I'm just gonna be bitching the whole time like an old man. Who was it the other day? I was like, Johnny. He's like, when are you gonna turn into a grumpy old man? I'm working on it. It's not easy. I'm a very laid back kind of person, so being grumpy is not easy. But waking up at 3 a.m, yeah, that makes it kind of easy. No, I'm just kidding, man. We'll have some fun. We'll watch the launch all the way through, as we always do. I do expect a successful launch. They have delays for a reason. Normally it's because of weather or because of the client. Rarely, if ever, is because of Rocket Lab. So I do expect success, but I'm always going to be a little bit nervous until we get to Mikio or Siko stage of the launch. But yeah, please join in, have some fun. Drink your coffee. For me, at least 3 in the morning. That's what I'm going to be doing. And if anyone wants to jump in with us, it'd be awesome. Help me stay awake. I mean, please join in, have a blast, talk the whole time. I'm going to try and catch a nap in between. But yeah, we're definitely going to have some fun.
In June, I'm in San Diego. He's in Houston. How far is that from you, Chris? San Diego?
San Diego is exactly 2,470 bazillion miles away. It's a long way, dude. It's across the whole country. Yeah, I did 3 months in Arkansas for a massive pond install, like 1,000,000 gallons. It was an 18-hour drive, and Arkansas is maybe halfway. Maybe so if you're driving straight through, 24 plus hours, I would imagine. I do drive slow.
Across that country.
Yeah, from Houston to San Diego is not quite as big, but man, Texas is massive. Dude, take Texas and put it over the western part of Europe. It takes over most of it. Texas itself is massive. Being in Houston, you can drive for hours before you even leave Texas. It's crazy. It's a long drive. It's not a quick trip, that's for sure.
Olga, June, can you guys help me out? Please reach out to RKLB Girl, or Stock Trek Girl, not RKLB Girl, Stock Trek Girl on X. We want her on. Please help us out and try and get her on for an interview, and then hopefully she can lead that side of the project, and then the likes of you girls can come on too with her. San Diego is on the west coast of the border of Mexico. I'm not even going to pronounce that name. Tijuana. I don't know. I think you guys like to play around with me, but my name's
Tijuana.
Liam.
It's Tijuana. You freaking Irish European.
Tijuana.
Not speaking. Yeah, Tijuana. She's probably made a few trips over the border. That's how she knows it. You can go down there and have a lot of fun. June, I would love to hear some stories about your trips over the border. I know you've got a few. It doesn't have to be a rocket lab or Haste or space at all. We can just sit back and have some fun. I know you got some crazy stories. If you're that close to Tijuana, I know you got stories. So don't hold back and don't act innocent, because we know damn well you're not innocent now. You've already given it up. So yeah, man. Anytime, come on. Or, as always, just stay in the chats and just keep on feeding us the fun information. That's hilarious. Tijuana is a lot of fun. Shame. No, I love it. That's a lot of fun.
And then B-Tech says, I went to the border once, then Baclal and San Diego Zoo. I'm not even going to pretend I know where these places are. I've heard of San Diego, but I just don't know where it is. Right, guys. My name's Liam, one of the host bros here. Had a great day today. Absolutely smashed out the park. 9% up. ASTS, all-time highs. I'm here with my brother, the founder of the Haste Club, Christopher Bell. We're going to get him up at the crack of dawn. No, way before the crack of dawn. 3 a.m. in the morning. We're going to be on live streaming the launch from New Zealand. Guys, make sure to check us out then. And until then, guys, have a nice day.
Yeah, thanks everyone. June, Olga, especially. Maddie, see you soon, my friend. Great stream. A lot of fun, guys. See you tomorrow.